An academic caused a stir after posting her views on Queen Elizabeth II's death on Twitter, bringing up Britain's colonial past and wishing that the late monarch's pain during her last hours was excruciating. Ujuanya, a researcher in applied linguistics, critical sociolinguistics, and critical discourse studies teaching at Carnegie Mellon University in Pennsylvania, U.S., claimed that the Queen's crown was made from blood diamonds. Lilibet and Archie tipped for surprise UK appearance on Incredibly Sad Day for Dead Harry. Lilibet and Archie Mountbatten Windsor could be reunited with their grieving father, Prince Harry, on an incredibly sad day for the Duke, a royal expert has suggested. The Duke of Sussex looked heartbroken during the coffin procession carrying his grandmother's coffin on Wednesday. Read more here. A few hours before the announcement of the Queen's death on September 8, the professor posted a tweet, which has now been removed by Twitter. The post reportedly read, "I heard the chief monarch of a thieving and raping genocidal empire is finally dying. May her pain be excruciating." Ujuanya's tweet caused a massive response with thousands of users either condemning or praising the professor's views. Carnegie Mellon University subsequently distanced itself from its employees' post, with a statement that read, "We do not condone the offensive and objectionable messages posted by Ujuanya today" on her personal social media account. Free expression is core to the mission of higher education, however, the views she shared absolutely do not represent the values of the institution, nor the standards of discourse we seek to foster. Read more. Meghan and Sophie to follow Queen's funeral procession by car. Ujuanya's tweet about the Queen caused a massive response. Image, Getty. The nation mourns the Queen's passing. Image, Getty. But in a later post, Ujuanya responded to the criticism, "If anyone expects me to express anything but disdain for the monarch who supervised a government that sponsored the genocide that massacred and displaced half my family and the consequences of which those alive today are still trying to overcome, you can keep wishing upon a star." As she wrote later on Twitter, the professor had many requests for interviews following the provocative statements. Speaking to the podcast This Week in White Supremacy a few days after the Queen's death, she was unapologetic. The professor said, "This was a ruler. The very crown she had on her head signified the fact that she's a monarch was made from plunder. Diamonds. Blood diamonds. The throne that she was sitting on is a throne of blood. So you cannot say that she's just this little old lady or this figurehead that really had nothing to do with anything and it was just the British government without relating it directly to her because she was directly benefiting, her very position as a monarch, the palace she lived in. We're all paid for by our blood. Don't miss, Harry military uniform row deepens as Duke to have major outfit change. Queen consort Camilla soldiers on for Charles despite painful injury. Prince Harry experiencing very lonely time, royal expert claims how to watch the Queen's funeral live. The UK is in mourning following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, and millions will be watching her funeral take place on Monday, September 19 at Westminster Abbey. The event begins at 11 a.m. and will be shown live on BBC television and available to stream on BBC iPlayer. Viewers can also watch the momentous occasion on ITV or Sky News, as the two provide live coverage of the day. Prior to the funeral beginning, broadcasters will be providing updates during morning news programmes from 6 a.m. such as BBC Breakfast and Good Morning Britain. After the funeral has taken place, the Queen's coffin will travel to Wellington Arch and proceedings will conclude at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. The nation mourns the loss of Queen Elizabeth II. Image, Getty. Trending. She continued, "People expected me to be calm or to be. When the person who literally paid money for bombs and guns and military supplies to come and massacre your people is dying, you're not sup to dance." When asked about her tweets she responded, "In other words, I said what I said. I had an emotional reaction. And an emotional outburst. I was triggered by this news. It went deep into pain and trauma for me, due to my family experience with the rule of this monarch. The professor also noted that she was surprised by how much attention the tweet received. She noted, "I like to teach. I am fundamentally a teacher. And I bring evidence and support for the claims that I make.